Across a silent desert in southern Peru, enormous lines stretch for miles, forming animals, spirals, and perfect geometry only visible from the sky. For centuries, these markings remained unnoticed, hidden in plain sight. Who designed them, and why were they made on such an impossible scale? Without aircraft, drones, or satellites, an ancient civilization mapped shapes larger than city blocks with striking precision. Some align with stars, solstices, and celestial paths. Others connect across continents through similar patterns. Were these lines ceremonial routes, astronomical records, navigational systems, or something far more complex? The ground holds answers, and the sky reveals the question. The Nazca Lines, vast, intricate geoglyphs etched into the arid landscape of southern Peru, have long fascinated both scholars and mystery enthusiasts alike. But what if these colossal designs were not made for human eyes at all? What if they were crafted for beings from beyond our world? Or perhaps they were made for the Earth itself, as a map or message from a lost civilization, to be rediscovered by a future that would finally understand their meaning. These seemingly simple figures, monstrous spiders, intricate birds, geometrical shapes, and serpentine paths, raise questions that seem to defy the explanations we're taught in history class. For decades, we've been told they were just an ancient people's religious symbols or ceremonial representations designed to be seen from the air. But why create such massive forms, only to be seen from above, in a time when the technology to do so did not exist? Is it really about human devotion to the gods? Or could there be something more? Could these ancient drawings serve as a connection to celestial forces, perhaps as a communication tool for extraterrestrial beings, or perhaps they are merely a fragment of a much larger, enigmatic puzzle that has yet to be solved? What we know about the Nazca Lines is that they are vast, spanning over 50 square kilometers of desert. These enormous shapes range from simple straight lines to complex geometric patterns and animal figures. Most of them are so large that they can only be fully appreciated from the air. Yet, the people who created these lines did not have the advantage of aerial views, no planes, no drones. So how did they conceive of such large-scale designs? How did they know where to draw without the benefit of a bird's-eye perspective? Some researchers believe the Nazca people used simple tools and techniques to mark out their lines on the desert floor, but this hardly explains the precision and scale of the drawings. Could there be more to the story? Could these geoglyphs represent something far beyond the comprehension of their creators? The mystery of how and why the Nazca Lines were constructed only deepens as we begin to consider the idea of their astronomical significance. Over the years, researchers have pointed to the possibility that these lines were used for ritualistic purposes tied to celestial events. In fact, many of the figures seem to be aligned with specific stars, constellations, and solstices. The hummingbird, for example, is thought to be aligned with the star Vega, while the monkey seems to correspond to the sun's position during certain seasons. Could the Nazca people have had such a sophisticated understanding of the heavens? Or were these markings created with the intent of communicating something far beyond mere observations of the stars? Some even suggest that these lines could have been a form of early celestial navigation, guiding people across vast distances, while others propose that they were designed to attract the attention of the gods. But what if these patterns, these sacred designs, were not just a human creation, but a message encoded in the very fabric of the earth, placed there by beings with knowledge far beyond that of the Nazca people? But the Nazca Lines are not alone in their mystery. Across the globe, ancient civilizations have created similar geoglyphs and earthworks, symbols that seem to serve no immediate practical purpose, but are clearly designed with great care and purpose. The geoglyphs of Paracas, also in Peru, show similar motifs, with patterns that suggest a deep understanding of the cosmos. In the American Southwest, the Native American Hopi tribe has long spoken of their ancestors' use of sacred earthworks, including lines and circles, to mark important celestial events and map out the energies of the earth. And in Jordan, there are massive stone lines that stretch for miles, some of which have been linked to astrological and ceremonial uses. The global presence of such geoglyphs raises one simple question. What if these symbols are not isolated instances, but part of a much larger, interconnected system? What if these earthworks are not random, but were created by a network of ancient cultures that shared knowledge, techniques, and perhaps even a common goal? Could there have been an ancient civilization that spanned the globe, whose knowledge of the stars and Earth's energies was so advanced that they left behind these geoglyphs as a message to future generations, or perhaps to visitors from stars? Some believe this ancient civilization was a precursor to the known empires of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Mesoamerica, a lost culture whose secrets have been buried by time and natural disaster. Ancient texts and oral traditions speak of a golden age of wisdom, when humans were in direct contact with celestial beings, receiving knowledge that would shape the development of the world's great cultures. Could the geoglyphs be a remnant of this lost wisdom, a visual language meant to convey something far more complex than anything we have yet uncovered? The symbolism embedded within these ancient designs only deepens the mystery. Geoglyphs across the world often feature animals and patterns that hold deep spiritual meaning. The serpent, for example, appears in numerous geoglyphs, from the Nazca Lines to the ancient ruins of South America. In many cultures, serpents are symbols of transformation, rebirth, and connection to the divine. Could the serpent motifs represent a deeper, cosmic truth? Is it possible that these symbols are not just religious iconography, but a way to communicate something far greater? Could these animals, often mythical in nature, hold the keys to unlocking a deeper understanding of the universe? After all, many ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Sumerians, believed that certain animals could channel cosmic energy, acting as intermediaries between humanity and the gods. Equally intriguing is the presence of geometric shapes and intricate patterns within the geoglyphs. The precision of these designs is astonishing. Complex spirals, perfect circles, and perfect straight lines that span miles across the landscape. These geometric patterns are not just artistic expressions, but are believed to be aligned with natural forces, such as the flow of energy through the earth, or even celestial movements. What if these lines and shapes are not just aesthetic, but serve as a code, a blueprint for understanding the secrets of the universe, hidden in plain sight? Some researchers believe that the ancient builders of these geoglyphs had a profound understanding of sacred geometry, the mathematical principles that govern the structure of the universe itself. Could it be that these ancient cultures were, in fact, tapping into the very fabric of reality through their designs, creating a visual language that holds the keys to unlocking a much deeper cosmic understanding? The idea of a cosmic connection takes on even more weight when we consider the possibility that these geoglyphs were created with the help of extraterrestrial intelligence. This is where things get truly speculative. Over the years, proponents of the ancient astronaut theory have suggested that these earthworks were not created by humans alone, but with the guidance of beings from beyond the stars. The sheer size and precision of the geoglyphs, combined with the mysterious knowledge required to construct them, seem to suggest that a higher intelligence may have been involved. Some even point to the idea that these designs were meant to attract the attention of extraterrestrial beings, sending a signal into space, hoping to make contact. Could it be that the Nazca Lines and other geoglyphs are not simply ancient relics of human culture, but ancient messages meant to be read by beings from beyond our world? And if these ancient peoples were in contact with extraterrestrial beings, could their knowledge of the stars and the Earth's energies have been a form of higher wisdom passed down from these cosmic visitors? What if the geoglyphs are not merely the product of human imagination, but the remnants of a lost, celestial knowledge that has been suppressed or forgotten by modern civilization? The idea that these earthworks hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe is a powerful one, and it raises the tantalizing possibility that humanity's history, as we know it, may be far older and far more connected to the cosmos than we've ever been told. The question remains, Are we ready to embrace the possibility that our ancestors were not just primitive people scratching out symbols in the dirt, but highly advanced civilization in touch with forces beyond the stars? Could the geoglyphs be a message, a warning, or perhaps an invitation from a long-forgotten cosmic past? As we begin to peel back the layers of history, one thing becomes clear. The Nazca Lines and the geoglyphs that exist around the world are not just random drawings or simple symbols. They are part of a larger, cosmic puzzle, waiting to be solved. The answers lie hidden beneath the surface, in the very earth itself. It is up to us to uncover the truth, to connect the dots, and to finally understand the message that our ancient ancestors, perhaps guided by beings from beyond, left behind for us to find. The Nazca Lines were first discovered by the modern world in 1927, though their origins and purpose have been subjects of fascination and mystery for much longer. These massive geoglyphs, etched into the Earth's surface in the vast, arid plains of southern Peru, seem so out of place in their environment that it's as though they were designed to be noticed from the sky. Some of the shapes are so large that they cannot be fully appreciated from the ground. Only when seen from the air can the true scale of these markings be understood. But who could have had the foresight to create such colossal designs in an age where flight was not even a concept? Who, in their right mind, would draw such intricate shapes, perfect lines, giant animals, and geometric patterns on the Earth's surface, knowing full well that they could never see them in their entirety? This question has puzzled archaeologists, historians, and theorists for nearly a century, and to this day, there's no definitive answer. Most historians believe that the Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca culture between 500 BCE and 500 CE. The designs are made by removing the reddish-brown stones from the desert floor, exposing the lighter soil beneath. The resulting lines are then left exposed to the elements, some of which have survived for more than 2,000 years, while others have faded away due to natural erosion. The primary function of the geoglyphs is generally believed to have been ceremonial or religious in nature. Some scholars have suggested that the lines were drawn to honor the gods or were meant to facilitate religious rituals, guiding the people's spiritual or agricultural practices. Given the arid climate and the dependence of the Nazca people on the seasonal rains, it's not hard to imagine that these lines had some connection to the divine forces that governed life in the desert. The idea that the lines may have been designed as an offering to the gods or to ask for blessings is a reasonable assumption, given the prominence of religious rites in ancient cultures. Yet, the notion that these markings were simply religious offerings or ceremonial in nature does not fully explain the complexity and scale of the geoglyphs. When one looks at the lines from the ground, they seem to be scattered and chaotic, almost as though they were random. However, when viewed from above, whether by aircraft, drones, or modern satellites, the pattern suddenly makes sense. The lines are carefully designed, often aligning with each other and with specific natural features of the land. It becomes clear that these shapes were not simply drawn for decorative purposes or as acts of religious devotion, but were made with a purpose that transcends the limits of their immediate environment. These designs are not random. They are deliberate, and their placement on the earth seems too precise to have been born out of mere superstition or ritualistic instinct. This raises the question, what were the Nazca people trying to convey? What was the deeper meaning behind these massive earthworks? One of the key mysteries surrounding the Nazca Lines is why they were designed in such a way that only someone in the sky could fully appreciate their scale. Many of the figures, such as the hummingbird, the monkey, the spider, and the condor, are vast, spanning hundreds of meters in length. Their size makes it nearly impossible for anyone on the ground to see them in their entirety. For centuries, these images went unnoticed by the local populations. It wasn't until the advent of aerial photography in the early 20th century that anyone realized the true extent of the lines. The question remains, how could the Nazca people have designed these immense, geometric patterns and animals without any technology that would have allowed them to see the big picture? It's one thing to create a drawing that can be appreciated up close, but it's something entirely different to craft something that is only visible from above. Could it be that the Nazca people were not only aware of the sky, but had some kind of understanding of aerial perspectives that seems far ahead of their time? Or could there be a more profound explanation, one that links these geoglyphs to something beyond human knowledge? In recent years, some researchers have proposed that the Nazca Lines were designed as a form of astronomical calendar, a map of the stars, or even a guide to celestial alignments. The idea is that the lines and figures were drawn in alignment with certain astronomical events, such as the solstices, equinoxes, and the positions of key stars and planets. Indeed, some of the shapes, particularly the animal figures, seem to align with the positions of stars or the paths of the sun during particular times of the year. For example, the famous hummingbird figure has been linked to the star Vega, which rises in the sky at certain times of the year. The monkey has been interpreted as representing the position of the sun at certain solstices. If these designs were intended as markers for celestial events, they would have been a form of astronomical record, preserving the knowledge of important cosmic cycles for future generations. This theory fits with the idea that ancient peoples, including the Nazca, had an intricate understanding of the stars and their movements. It was common for many ancient cultures to use the heavens to track the passage of time, mark seasonal changes, and guide their agricultural practices. But this raises the question, were the Nazca people merely observing the skies, or did they have a deeper connection to these celestial phenomena, one that may have guided their decisions to draw these vast, intricate patterns? As the mystery of the Nazca Lines continues to unfold, one of the most intriguing aspects of their design is their location. The lines are not found just anywhere. They are situated in a very specific region of the world. The Nazca Desert, located in the foothills of the Andes Mountains, is one of the driest places on Earth, with almost no rainfall year-round. This extreme dryness has been a key factor in the preservation of the lines, allowing them to survive for centuries without being washed away. But why did the Nazca people choose this particular location to create their massive designs? Could it be that the dry desert landscape itself played a role in the creation of these lines? Some researchers have suggested that the desert was chosen because of its vast, open space, ideal for creating geoglyphs that could be seen from a distance. Others propose that the desert, with its isolation from other civilizations, may have been a sacred place, a location where the people could make their offerings to the gods in relative privacy. Another possibility is that the desert landscape, with its natural features, held some deeper spiritual significance. Were the lines intended to mimic the patterns found in the natural world, or was there another, more hidden reason for their placement? Despite the many theories surrounding the Nazca Lines, one thing remains certain. The purpose behind these enigmatic geoglyphs is still a mystery. While some scholars argue that they were created for religious or ceremonial purposes, others suggest that they may have had a more practical function, such as acting as markers for astronomical events or serving as part of a larger system of celestial navigation. Still, others have ventured into the realm of speculation, suggesting that the lines could have been created by extraterrestrial beings or as a form of communication with otherworldly forces. Whether the lines were meant to guide the people of Nazca, to communicate with the gods, or to serve as a cosmic message, we may never know for certain. Yet, one thing is clear. The Nazca Lines remain one of the most enduring mysteries of our time, a symbol of the ancient world's hidden knowledge and an enduring testament to humanity's search for meaning in the stars above. As we continue to study these remarkable earthworks, we may find that the answers lie not in the symbols themselves, but in the deeper mysteries of our connection to the universe. For centuries, humanity has looked to the skies for guidance, seeking meaning in the stars, planets, and celestial bodies. The study of astronomy was not just a scientific pursuit. It was intimately tied to spirituality, agriculture, and the very fabric of life itself. Ancient cultures across time and space built monuments, temples, and geoglyphs, many of which are aligned with the heavens. But what if these ancient peoples were not merely observing the stars, but using them in a much deeper, more intentional way? What if, as some researchers suggest, the Nazca Lines and other geoglyphs were designed as part of a sophisticated celestial calendar or a cosmic map that charted not only the cycles of the sun and moon, but also the movements of the stars and other celestial phenomena. The idea that the Nazca Lines were linked to astronomical events is not a new one. In fact, one of the most widely accepted theories about the purpose of these ancient geoglyphs is that they were created to mark celestial alignments. The complexity and precision of the designs suggest that the Nazca people had a deep understanding of the heavens. Several of the geoglyphs, including the hummingbird, the monkey, and the spider, appear to be aligned with specific stars, constellations, and solar events. For instance, the hummingbird is thought to be aligned with the star Vega, one of the brightest stars in the night sky. The monkey, with its spiral tail, is believed to represent the movement of the sun across the sky, particularly during the equinoxes. Even the enigmatic spider has been linked to the star system of Orion, which is often associated with ancient mythologies about gods and celestial beings. This understanding of the heavens, however, goes beyond simple observation. It's one thing to look up at the sky and note the positions of stars, but it's another to design massive earthworks that seem to mirror those celestial bodies and align with their movements. The precision of the Nazca Lines suggests that they were not created for mere decoration or religious expression, but for something far more complex. Some scholars believe that the geoglyphs were a type of astronomical calendar, a tool for tracking the movements of the stars and planets, as well as the changing seasons. The lines themselves may have functioned as markers, guiding the Nazca people through the complex cycles of the cosmos, much like a map of the stars, with each design representing a specific celestial event. The Nazca culture's knowledge of the stars was likely influenced by the long-standing traditions of astronomy in the ancient world. In many early civilizations, the movements of celestial bodies were seen as divinely orchestrated, and their patterns were closely linked to agricultural cycles, rituals, and religious observances. The Nazca people, living in the harsh desert environment of southern Peru, would have been keenly aware of the changing seasons and the role that the stars played in determining the timing of important events such as planting and harvesting. Just as the ancient Egyptians relied on the rising of the star Sirius to mark the start of the flooding of the Nile, the Nazca may have used the stars to guide their agricultural practices. The geoglyphs, then, could have served as a visual record of these celestial cycles, allowing the people to anticipate the changing seasons and plan their activities accordingly. But the question remains, why create such large, intricate designs, only to be seen from the sky? The answer may lie in the role that the Nazca people believed the gods and celestial forces played in their lives. In many ancient cultures, the stars and planets were not just distant points of light in the sky. They were thought to be powerful, living forces that could influence the fate of individuals and entire civilizations. By aligning their geoglyphs with these celestial bodies, the Nazca may have been attempting to establish a direct connection with the gods, communicating with them through the language of the stars. This is not an isolated idea. Many ancient peoples believed that their sacred monuments and rituals had a direct impact on the cosmos, and that by appeasing the gods, they could ensure favorable conditions for their crops, their health, and their future. The Nazca Lines, in this sense, may have been a form of communication, a way for the people to send a message to the heavens, asking for divine intervention or favor. The idea that the geoglyphs served as a form of celestial communication is further supported by the fact that many of the lines and figures seem to be aligned with specific astronomical events, such as the solstices and equinoxes. The solstices, in particular, were of immense importance to ancient peoples, as they marked the turning points of the year, when the sun's position in the sky shifted, signaling the changing of seasons. These celestial events were not just seen as astronomical phenomena, but as moments of cosmic significance, imbued with spiritual meaning. For the Nazca people, the alignment of the lines with these events may have served as a way to mark the passage of time, ensuring that their rituals and agricultural practices were in harmony with the natural rhythms of the universe. But there's more to this story. Some researchers have suggested that the Nazca Lines may have been part of a much larger, more sophisticated system of celestial navigation. The idea that these geoglyphs were not just a local phenomenon, but part of a global network of astronomical knowledge, is one that has gained traction in recent years. The discovery of similar geoglyphs and earthworks in other parts of the world, such as the desert regions of northern Chile, the plains of the American Southwest, and even the remote islands of the Pacific, raises the possibility that ancient cultures shared a common understanding of the stars and the Earth's energies. Some theorists believe that the Nazca Lines, along with other ancient earthworks, were part of an interconnected system of celestial markers designed to guide travelers or to serve as a universal map of the stars. Could it be that the geoglyphs of Nazca were not just isolated creations, but part of a larger tradition of cosmic knowledge that spanned the globe? Were these earthworks created as part of a lost system of navigation, a way to communicate across vast distances and different cultures, using the stars as a common language? This idea may seem far-fetched, but when we consider the sophistication of ancient astronomical knowledge, it begins to make more sense. The ancient Egyptians, for example, used the stars to align their pyramids with remarkable precision. The ancient Maya created intricate calendars based on the cycles of the moon and planets. Even the builders of Stonehenge in England constructed their monument to align with the movements of the sun. Could the Nazca Lines be another piece in this larger puzzle, a physical manifestation of the global knowledge of the cosmos that was shared by ancient cultures? The more we learn about the Nazca Lines and their astronomical significance, the more questions arise. How did the Nazca people develop such advanced knowledge of the stars, and how did they pass it down through generations? Did they have access to knowledge or technologies that have since been lost to history? Could they have received this knowledge from an outside source, perhaps extraterrestrial beings, as some have suggested? While there is no definitive answer to these questions, the fact remains that the Nazca Lines are more than just geoglyphs. They are a testament to the ancient people's deep understanding of the cosmos and their desire to communicate with the heavens. Whether they were created as a way to mark celestial events, as a form of divine communication, or as a navigational tool, the Nazca Lines continue to intrigue and mystify, offering a glimpse into a world where the stars were not distant objects, but living forces that shaped the course of life on Earth. As we continue to study these ancient earthworks, one thing is clear. The true purpose of the Nazca Lines may be far more complex and far-reaching than we can even begin to imagine. The stars, it seems, hold secrets that are waiting to be uncovered, secrets that may one day reveal the true extent of humanity's connection to the cosmos. The idea that the Nazca Lines are part of a global network of ancient geoglyphs has long intrigued historians, archaeologists, and mystery enthusiasts alike. These vast earthworks, seemingly scattered across the deserts and plains of different continents, all share certain striking similarities. They are designed with intricate patterns, vast geometrical shapes, and animal forms that seem to be more than just simple representations of the natural world. From the Nazca Lines in Peru to the giant geoglyphs in Chile, from the petroglyphs in the American Southwest to the mysterious formations found in the deserts of Arabia, there is a clear pattern emerging, one that suggests that these ancient civilizations were not isolated in their understanding of the world. Instead, they may have been part of a larger, global network, sharing knowledge of celestial cycles, geographical alignment, and even extraterrestrial influence. When we look at the geoglyphs of Nazca, we are not merely examining the work of a single culture. We are witnessing a phenomenon that is echoed across the globe in different forms and varying levels of complexity. Take, for example, the lines in the Atacama Desert of Chile. Though the scale and style are different from those in Peru, they too follow a similar pattern. Large, elongated lines and shapes etched into the desert floor, many of which seem to align with the stars and planets. Much like the Nazca Lines, these geoglyphs have puzzled archaeologists for years. Were they created for the same purpose, by similar people, or was there a larger, unifying cultural exchange that spanned vast distances? It is easy to overlook these remote geoglyphs, dismissing them as local artifacts of isolated cultures. But when seen through the lens of the Nazca Lines, they take on new significance. suggesting that there may have been more to these ancient societies than meets the eye. Similarly, the giant geoglyphs of the American Southwest, including those found in Arizona and New Mexico, further emphasize this potential connection. These desert markings are not as famous as the Nazca Lines, but they share similar traits. They are vast in scale, often composed of straight lines and geometric shapes that can only be fully appreciated from a high vantage point. Some of these geoglyphs are thought to have been created by the ancestral Puebloans, the ancestors of modern-day Native American tribes, and many of them appear to align with celestial events like the solstices. The significance of these markings may have been linked to religious or agricultural practices, much like the Nazca Lines, but the striking similarities in design suggest a deeper, shared understanding of the Earth's natural rhythms and the stars above. What if these distant cultures were not only aware of the stars, but were also communicating with each other across vast distances, using the Earth itself as their canvas? The mystery deepens when we turn to the geoglyphs found in the deserts of Arabia, particularly in Saudi Arabia and Jordan. These desert markings are not as well known as the South American geoglyphs, but they share a similar purpose and design. Researchers have identified large, geometric patterns that stretch for miles, as well as animal forms and lines that are clearly visible only from the sky. What is most interesting about these Middle Eastern geoglyphs is their alignment with specific celestial bodies, particularly with the positions of the stars. This mirrors the pattern seen in the Nazca Lines, where shapes seem to correspond with specific stars and constellations. Could these Arabian geoglyphs, too, have served as part of a larger system of celestial mapping? And if so, did the people who created them have knowledge of the same celestial cycles as the Nazca, the Egyptians, and the ancient cultures of the Americas? Could there have been a global tradition of creating Earth-based symbols to communicate with the cosmos, one that spanned continents and millennia? The question arises, why did these civilizations, separated by vast oceans and rugged terrains, create such similar geoglyphs? Could these ancient peoples have been part of a larger, interconnected world, a world where knowledge of the stars and the Earth's energies was shared across cultures? One possibility is that these geoglyphs were not the work of isolated societies, but were the product of a lost, ancient civilization that spanned the globe. This civilization, which may have existed long before recorded history, could have been united by a shared understanding of the cosmos and a common purpose, perhaps even a collective desire to communicate with forces beyond the stars. It's not difficult to imagine that such a civilization, with its advanced knowledge of astronomy and geometry, would leave behind these vast, intricate designs, marking the landscape with symbols that had a deeper, cosmic significance. What if these geoglyphs were not just a way to mark celestial events or communicate with gods, but a message to the future, a record of a time when humanity was connected to something greater than itself? This theory is further supported by the existence of ancient maps and charts that appear to show a global network of landmarks and celestial alignments. These maps, found in various parts of the world, depict continents, coastlines, and mountains, many of which bear striking resemblance to the patterns seen in the geoglyphs. Are these ancient maps evidence of a global network of knowledge? Could they be part of a lost tradition of cartography, one that spanned across cultures and was used to navigate the Earth's energies or even the stars? Some theorists believe that these maps, when combined with the geoglyphs, form a larger, interconnected system, an ancient global map that serve to guide travelers or communicate across vast distances. This map, they suggest, may have been a tool for exploring the Earth's ley lines or a guide to understanding the energetic patterns of the planet. The lines drawn on the Earth's surface, the geoglyphs themselves, may have served as physical markers of this larger, cosmic map, connecting the dots between distant cultures and the stars above. While it is tempting to dismiss the similarities between the geoglyphs of different cultures as mere coincidence, the evidence suggests that there is more at play here. The patterns are simply too similar, too precise, and too widespread to be explained by isolated cultural development. The question becomes not whether these geoglyphs are connected, but but how they are connected. Did these ancient cultures share a common source of knowledge? Was there a global network of scholars and travelers who exchanged ideas about the stars, the Earth, and the cosmos? Or, perhaps more provocatively, were these geoglyphs part of a larger, more ancient civilization whose influence spanned the globe? This civilization, its knowledge, and its wisdom may have been passed down through the generations, eventually influencing the civilizations we recognize today. The more we learn about the geoglyphs of the world, the more it becomes clear that there is something larger, something deeply interconnected, that ties them together. As we look at the geoglyphs of the Nazca, the Atacama Desert, the American Southwest, and Arabia, we are faced with the possibility that the ancient world was not as isolated as we once thought. These distant cultures, separated by time, geography, and language, may have been part of a larger global tradition, one that sought to understand and communicate with the forces of the cosmos. The geoglyphs, in their many forms, may have served as markers of this cosmic knowledge, guiding future generations towards a deeper understanding of the universe. Whether they were created for religious purposes, astronomical observation, or celestial communication, the geoglyphs offer a tantalizing glimpse into a time when humanity may have been far more connected to the stars and to each other than we can ever truly comprehend. In the end, the similarities between these geoglyphs are not just a coincidence. They point to a larger, hidden truth about our ancient past, one that suggests we may not be as disconnected from our ancestors or from the cosmos as we once believed. As we continue to explore and study these geoglyphs, we may begin to uncover the lost knowledge of the ancient world, revealing the deep, interconnected web of cultures, beliefs, and knowledge that spanned the globe long before recorded history. The mystery of the Nazca Lines and their counterparts around the world may just be the key to unlocking a deeper, more profound understanding of who we are, where we come from, and our place in the vast cosmic tapestry of the universe. As we dive deeper into the enigmatic world of the Nazca Lines and their global counterparts, a new layer of complexity begins to emerge. It's not just the physical designs themselves that captivate our curiosity, but the possibility that these ancient geoglyphs hold a secret, a message encoded in their very shape and structure, one that could unlock mysteries about the nature of human consciousness, the Earth, and the cosmos. To understand this, we must shift our focus from mere geography and astronomy to the realm of sacred geometry and energy. For centuries, ancient cultures across the world have understood that the world is not simply made up of matter and space, but that hidden forces and patterns govern the very fabric of existence. Sacred geometry, the study of shapes, patterns, and numbers that hold deep spiritual and cosmic significance, plays a central role in many of these ancient traditions. Could it be that the Nazca Lines, with their extraordinary precision, are a form of sacred geometry, designed to align with the natural energies of the Earth and the cosmos? Sacred geometry has been a cornerstone of many ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians to the Greeks, from the Maya to the builders of Stonehenge. It is believed that these ancient cultures used geometric patterns to understand and manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe. The concept is simple yet profound. Everything in the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, follows a specific pattern of order. These patterns, often expressed through sacred shapes like the circle, triangle, square, and spiral, are thought to be the building blocks of reality itself. In ancient times, the study of sacred geometry was often tied to spiritual and religious practices, as it was believed that by understanding these patterns, humans could tap into divine wisdom and cosmic knowledge. It's possible that the creators of the Nazca Lines, with their intricate designs and geometric shapes, were doing just that. Were these lines not just a way to mark the landscape, but a way to tap into the energetic forces of the Earth to align themselves with the greater cosmic order? The theory that the Nazca Lines are related to sacred geometry becomes more compelling when we examine the designs themselves. Take the famous spider geoglyph, for example. At first glance, it may appear to be a simple representation of the arachnid, but a closer look reveals something far more intricate. The legs of the spider extend outward in perfect symmetry, creating a pattern that mirrors the golden ratio, an ancient mathematical concept that represents the inherent symmetry and balance found in nature. This ratio, often associated with the spiral shape of seashells, galaxies, and the growth patterns of plants, has long been considered a key to understanding the natural order of the universe. Could the creators of the Nazca Lines have been aware of this pattern, using it as a way to align their designs with the fundamental forces of the cosmos? Similarly, the geometric patterns found in the Nazca Lines are not random. They're carefully constructed to reflect a deeper understanding of geometry and energy. The straight lines that stretch for miles across the desert floor, the perfect spirals, and the intricate shapes that seem to unfold upon closer inspection all point to a deliberate effort to harness the natural energies of the Earth. In fact, many of the designs appear to be aligned with the cardinal directions, and some researchers suggest that the lines could have been used as a way to track the movement of the sun, moon, and stars, marking the key points of celestial significance. This brings us to another question. What if these lines were not only designed to align with celestial events, but also with the Earth's energy grid? The idea of an Earth's energy grid, sometimes referred to as ley lines, has been a subject of fascination for many. Ley lines are hypothetical alignments of ancient sites, monuments, and geographical features that are thought to correspond to the flow of subtle energies across the planet. These energy lines, some believe, form a network that connects important sites and centers of power, creating an invisible map of the Earth's natural energy fields. The concept of ley lines is not a new one. It dates back to the early 20th century when researchers like Alfred Watkins first proposed the idea. Since then, many people have suggested that ancient cultures were aware of these energy lines and used them to site their monuments, temples, and other sacred structures. Could it be that the Nazca Lines were not only celestial markers, but also designed to align with the Earth's energy grid? Were these lines, shapes, and symbols created as a way to tap into the powerful forces of the planet, harnessing them for spiritual, agricultural, or even healing purposes? This idea is further supported by the presence of similar geoglyphs and earthworks found in other parts of the world. The ancient site of Stonehenge in England, for example, is thought to have been carefully positioned along a network of ley lines, with its massive stone pillars aligned to the solstices and the movements of the stars. The Great Pyramids of Giza, too, are believed to be aligned with the stars of Orion's belt, as well as the cardinal points of the Earth. Could it be that these ancient sites, scattered across the globe, were all built to harness the same natural energies that the Nazca Lines were designed to access? Were they all part of a global system, a universal map of the Earth's energy grid, designed by an advanced civilization that understood the connection between the Earth, the cosmos, and the subtle forces that govern both? If the Nazca Lines were, indeed, part of this global system, the implications are profound. It would suggest that ancient civilizations, long before the rise of recorded history, had access to knowledge and wisdom that has been lost to time. This knowledge, potentially passed down through secret societies or oral traditions, could have included a deep understanding of sacred geometry, astronomy, and the Earth's energy system. But why would these civilizations go to such great lengths to encode this knowledge into massive geoglyphs, visible only from the sky? One theory is that they were not just markers or guides for their own people, but messages for future generations, or perhaps even for beings from beyond the Earth. What if these geoglyphs, with their complex patterns and celestial alignments, were designed to communicate with extraterrestrial intelligence or to signal to other ancient cultures across the globe? This idea of extraterrestrial involvement is one that has captivated the imaginations of many. Over the years, proponents of the ancient astronaut theory have suggested that the Nazca Lines, along with other ancient earthworks, may have been created with the assistance of advanced extraterrestrial beings, or perhaps even as a form of communication with these beings. The sheer scale and precision of the Nazca Lines, as well as their alignment with celestial bodies, seems to defy the capabilities of ancient cultures, leading some to speculate that they were guided by a higher intelligence. Could it be that these lines were designed as a way to attract the attention of extraterrestrial visitors, a signal sent into space, hoping to make contact with beings from other worlds? While this theory remains speculative, it does raise interesting questions about the role of these geoglyphs in the broader context of human history and our connection to the cosmos. But even without considering extraterrestrial influence, the idea that the Nazca Lines and other geoglyphs were created as a form of sacred geometry and energy manipulation is a fascinating one. If we view these designs as more than just artistic expressions or religious symbols, but as an intricate map of cosmic and earthly forces, the Nazca Lines take on a whole new level of significance. They are not merely the product of an ancient civilization's need to communicate with the gods or track the stars. They are a manifestation of humanity's desire to understand and connect with the deeper forces that shape the universe. These geoglyphs, then, are not just ancient relics. They are part of a larger, more profound system, one that links the Earth, the stars, and the forces that govern both. As we continue to study and explore the Nazca Lines and their global counterparts, it's clear that there is much more to these ancient geoglyphs than meets the eye. Whether they are part of a global system of sacred geometry, a map of the Earth's energy grid, or a message to future generations, or to extraterrestrial intelligence, the Nazca Lines offer us a glimpse into a forgotten world of knowledge and wisdom. This knowledge, encoded in the very landscape itself, may hold the key to understanding not only the ancient past, but also our place in the larger cosmic scheme. As we unravel the mysteries of the Nazca Lines, we may discover that the lines on the desert floor are not just the marks of an ancient civilization, but the fingerprints of humanity's connection to something much larger, something beyond the Earth, beyond time, and beyond the stars. As we continue to delve into the mystery of the Nazca Lines, a recurring question arises. How could a civilization with no known technology of flight, no advanced tools or machinery, create such vast, intricate designs that can only be fully appreciated from the air? The answer, or at least a piece of it, may lie in the concept of ancient knowledge. Knowledge passed down through generations, perhaps even originating from lost civilizations or outside influences. The Nazca culture, along with other ancient peoples, could have had access to information or methods that allowed them to conceive of the lines in ways we can't fully comprehend today. Was it sheer human ingenuity, or did they have a deeper, more profound connection to the universe? Was their ability to conceive of such designs a result of spiritual insight, a connection to cosmic energies, or perhaps even a form of guidance from forces beyond the Earth? The question of how the Nazca could have created these enormous geoglyphs takes us into the realm of speculative theories and ancient wisdom. The fact that these lines appear to align perfectly with celestial bodies, stars, and solar events suggests that the creators had a sophisticated understanding of geometry and astronomy, far beyond what one might expect from a society living in the remote desert of South America. But did they do so by design, or did they possess some form of ancient technology or knowledge that allowed them to perceive the world in ways we can only begin to imagine? Some have suggested that the Nazca might have used the help of advanced astronomical tools, perhaps tools that have been lost to history. Could they have used something akin to the ancient astrolabes or celestial compasses to chart the stars and create the lines with such precision? Or could they have had access to more advanced methods of surveying that we simply do not understand today? What's even more intriguing is the possibility that the Nazca people might have had access to a knowledge system far older than their own civilization, a system that spanned continents and civilizations. There is a theory that suggests the Nazca Lines, along with other mysterious earthworks found across the globe, are part of a much older and much broader global system of knowledge. The idea is that, long before recorded history, an advanced civilization existed, one that had mastered the science of celestial alignment, geography, and perhaps even energy manipulation. These people, it is proposed, understood the way that the Earth's energy flowed, how the stars moved, and how the two could be synchronized to create powerful sites of energy and significance. This ancient civilization, according to some theorists, may have left behind these geoglyphs as markers, signposts, if you will, directing future generations toward a deeper understanding of the universe. Could the Nazca Lines have been designed to not only honor the gods, but also to align with a universal system of cosmic knowledge? In many ancient cultures, the creation of sacred structures, be it a temple, pyramid, or stone circle, was an act of connecting the earth with the cosmos. The idea was that by aligning these structures with the stars, the earth would be in harmony with the heavens, and the energies of both could be harnessed for practical, spiritual, or ceremonial purposes. The Nazca Lines could be seen as part of this larger system, where the geoglyphs are not just symbols or representations, but are designed to channel or activate specific energies, either spiritual or physical, through their geometric precision and alignment with celestial events. What makes this theory even more compelling is the fact that similar earthworks and geoglyphs can be found across the globe. From the lines in the deserts of Arabia and Egypt to the giant stone circles of Europe and the Americas, these structures often share a common purpose: to connect the earth with the stars. The Nazca Lines, in this context, could be viewed as part of a global network, a system of sacred sites that were intended to function together, each contributing to a larger cosmic design. But what was the purpose of this design? Were these sites designed to serve as tools for spiritual enlightenment, as places of power, or as communication devices for otherworldly beings? Were the geoglyphs a way to align human consciousness with the cosmos, or were they intended as signals to those who might be able to decipher their true meaning? One of the most fascinating aspects of these geoglyphs is their location. The Nazca Desert, with its dry climate and vast, open spaces, is the ideal place for the preservation of such delicate markings. But the location may also hold deeper significance. The Nazca Lines are not just randomly placed. They seem to follow a pattern, one that may align with the natural features of the land itself. Could it be that the Nazca people chose this specific location because it was an area of particular cosmic or energetic significance? The idea that certain places on Earth hold unique energies is not new. Many ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Chinese, believed that certain geographic locations were imbued with special spiritual or energetic qualities. Could the Nazca Desert have been such a place, a location where the Earth's natural energies converged, making it the perfect spot for creating these earthworks? Some researchers have proposed that the Nazca Lines may have served as a form of energy grid, a map that tapped into the Earth's natural energy flows, perhaps even tapping into ley lines or geodesic points. These invisible lines of energy, which run across the globe, are thought to connect important sacred sites and natural features. The idea is that ancient cultures, including the Nazca, were aware of these energy lines and created their sacred sites along these pathways in order to align themselves with the Earth's natural forces. Could the geoglyphs of Nazca be an extension of this concept, a way to harness and focus the Earth's energy in a purposeful way? If this theory holds any weight, it would mean that the Nazca Lines were not just artistic expressions or religious symbols, but practical tools for engaging with the Earth's natural forces, a kind of energy network that was meant to resonate with the universe in profound ways. The concept of energy grids and ley lines also connects to another fascinating theory about the Nazca Lines, the idea that they may have been designed to attract extraterrestrial attention. Given the sheer scale and intricacy of the designs, some have suggested that the geoglyphs were created as a kind of signal, a beacon to draw attention from the skies above. This theory is not as far-fetched as it might seem. Throughout history, humans have looked to the heavens with awe, wondering if we are alone in the universe or if other intelligent beings are watching us. Some have speculated that the Nazca Lines, with their vast scale and precision, could be a deliberate attempt to communicate with extraterrestrial beings, a cosmic message sent through the ages. If the Nazca people were indeed aware of forces beyond our world, it's possible that the geoglyphs were intended as a signal, a way to reach out to other civilizations, whether they were from other parts of the Earth or from the stars above. This extraterrestrial theory also ties into the larger question of how the Nazca people could have conceived of such grand designs. Could they have had access to technology or knowledge that has since been lost to history? Some suggest that the Nazca, like many other ancient cultures, may have been in contact with advanced beings, whether from outer space or from lost civilizations, that provided them with knowledge far beyond their own time. Could these beings have helped the Nazca in the creation of these intricate lines? Did they provide them with the tools or the insight needed to create such precise markings on the Earth's surface? While this idea remains speculative, it cannot be entirely dismissed, especially when we consider the possibility that the ancient world had access to knowledge that we are only now beginning to rediscover. Whether one believes in the possibility of extraterrestrial influence or not, the Nazca Lines remain a testament to the remarkable ingenuity and knowledge of the ancient peoples who created them. The question of how they were able to conceive of such grand designs and why they created them in the first place is a mystery that continues to captivate our imaginations. Were these lines simply a way to track celestial events, communicate with the gods, or align themselves with the Earth's energies? Or were they part of a much larger, more profound system of knowledge, one that spanned the globe and connected ancient civilizations through a shared understanding of the cosmos? The answers may never be fully understood, but one thing is clear. The Nazca Lines are not just markings on the Earth. They are a symbol of humanity's enduring connection to the stars, to the mysteries of the universe, and to the unknown forces that shape our world. As we shift our focus from the conceptual to the tangible, one of the most compelling aspects of the Nazca Lines, and indeed the geoglyphs scattered around the globe, is the sheer scale and intricacy of the designs themselves. The lines, which stretch for miles across the desert floor, are not merely artistic expressions or casual attempts at decoration. They are a testament to the skill and precision of the Nazca people, who created them with a level of accuracy and sophistication that seems almost impossible given the tools and technology available to them at the time. The question then arises, how did the Nazca people manage to craft such grand, complex designs in the vastness of the desert? How did they create such precise, geometric shapes, intricate patterns, and vast animal forms, all without the benefit of modern surveying equipment or aerial perspective? The first thing that strikes any observer of the Nazca Lines is their immensity. Some of the geoglyphs measure over 1,000 feet in length, and many of them are so large that their full scale can only be truly appreciated from above. From the ground, they appear as simple lines or shapes, often difficult to discern in their entirety. But from the sky, the full beauty of the designs comes into view, revealing complex patterns that seem to stretch endlessly across the desert. The question that naturally follows is, how did the Nazca people, with no known means of flight or aerial observation, manage to create such precise and expansive designs? To put it simply, the Nazca people were able to work on a scale that seems almost unfathomable for an ancient society, yet they did so with extraordinary accuracy. This achievement challenges our conventional understanding of the capabilities of ancient civilizations and suggests that the Nazca had access to a system of knowledge or tools that allowed them to see the landscape in ways we cannot fully comprehend. One popular theory is that the Nazca used simple yet effective methods of measurement and alignment to create the lines and figures. It is believed that they employed a system of ropes and stakes, which could have been used to lay out the patterns and ensure accuracy over long distances. The lines themselves were created by removing the reddish-brown rocks from the desert floor, revealing the lighter-colored earth underneath. This technique, while simple in concept, requires a great deal of precision, especially when dealing with the vast scale of the geoglyphs. The fact that the lines are so straight and perfectly aligned, despite the rough terrain and natural obstacles, suggests that the Nazca had an exceptional understanding of geometry and spatial organization. What makes this feat even more impressive is the fact that the Nazca people did not have access to the aerial perspective that we take for granted today. In modern times, creating such large, intricate designs would be relatively easy, thanks to aerial surveys, drones, and satellite imaging. But the Nazca had no such tools. Their perspective was confined to the ground, and yet they were able to create works of art that, when viewed from above, reveal a level of detail and coordination that seems almost beyond their capabilities. This raises the possibility that the Nazca had a different way of seeing their world, a kind of cosmic perspective that allowed them to perceive the land in ways that we may never fully understand. Some have suggested that the Nazca people may have used a method similar to triangulation, a technique that allows for precise measurements and positioning by using known reference points. This method would have allowed them to create straight lines and geometric shapes across the desert, even over long distances. By positioning markers or stakes at strategic points along the lines, the Nazca could have created an invisible grid that helped them map out their designs. This would have allowed them to achieve the level of precision seen in the lines and figures, even without the benefit of modern technology. It is possible that the Nazca people used their knowledge of the stars, the sun, and the land itself to guide their designs, creating a harmonious relationship between their geoglyphs and the natural world around them. This connection between the Nazca Lines and the natural world is something that becomes more apparent the deeper we explore the geoglyphs. Many of the lines and figures seem to be aligned with specific features of the landscape, as well as with celestial events like solstices and equinoxes. For instance, some of the straight lines appear to point toward the rising or setting of the sun during key times of the year, while others are thought to align with the positions of the stars. This suggests that the Nazca people had a profound understanding of the natural rhythms of the Earth, and that their geoglyphs were intentionally designed to reflect those rhythms. The lines may have been created not only as a way to mark celestial events, but as a way to align themselves with the cosmic forces that govern the cycles of life. The relationship between the Nazca Lines and the Earth's energy grid is another intriguing possibility. Some researchers believe that the geoglyphs were created along ley lines, the hypothetical lines of energy that run across the planet. These lines, which are thought to connect sacred sites and geographical features, are believed by some to carry subtle energies that influence the surrounding environment. Could the Nazca Lines have been created to tap into these energies, aligning their designs with the Earth's natural flows? If so, the creation of the geoglyphs would have been more than just a religious or artistic endeavor. It would have been an attempt to harmonize with the energies of the planet, to tap into a hidden force that connects all things. This would imply that the Nazca Lines were not just symbols, but powerful tools that could influence the world around them. If we accept the idea that the Nazca Lines were created with a deep understanding of the natural world and its energies, we are left with even more questions. What was the purpose of such a grand design? Were the geoglyphs meant to be used in rituals, to communicate with the gods or the stars? Were they designed as a way to mark important events in the agricultural cycle, as some researchers believe? Or, as some have suggested, were they part of a much larger and more complex system of spiritual or cosmic knowledge, one that spanned the entire ancient world? The fact that the Nazca Lines are so intricately tied to the landscape, the stars, and the Earth's energy suggests that they were not merely a product of religious or artistic expression. They were a reflection of the Nazca people's understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. The lines, as much as they are physical structures, are also symbols, a representation of the deep spiritual and cosmic knowledge that the Nazca people held. In this sense, the Nazca Lines are not just ancient drawings in the desert. They're a form of communication, a message to the future, to other civilizations, and perhaps even to the stars. In exploring the mystery of how the Nazca created their geoglyphs, we also have to consider the possibility that their knowledge was passed down through generations, through oral traditions, rituals, and ceremonies. The creation of these lines may have been a communal effort, one that involved a deep connection to the land, the sky, and the spiritual world. The Nazca people may have used their geoglyphs as a way to connect with the divine, to mark important events, and to align their lives with the natural and cosmic rhythms. This was not simply an artistic endeavor. It was a spiritual one, grounded in the belief that the Earth and the cosmos were intimately connected, and that by aligning their lives with these forces, they could tap into a greater power. The fact that the Nazca Lines continue to exist today, still etched into the desert floor, serves as a testament to the skill, precision, and knowledge of the Nazca people. These lines have withstood the test of time, enduring centuries of weathering, erosion, and even the ravages of human activity. The lines are not only a marvel of ancient engineering, but a reminder that the knowledge and wisdom of past civilizations are often hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. As we continue to study the Nazca Lines and their mysteries, we are reminded that the ancient world was not as simple or as primitive as we once thought. These geoglyphs are not just relics of the past. They are a link to a deeper, more profound understanding of the universe. A reminder that the knowledge of the ancients may still hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the cosmos. As we continue to explore the mysteries surrounding the Nazca Lines and their potential connections to ancient knowledge and cosmic alignment, it becomes increasingly clear that these geoglyphs may represent something far more profound than we have previously understood. The idea that these lines were not merely artistic expressions, but part of a larger system of celestial and earthly coordination, challenges our conventional understanding of the capabilities of ancient civilizations. Could it be that the Nazca Lines were, in fact, a form of communication, both to the heavens and to future generations, perhaps even to an audience beyond our world? This theory leads us to the possibility that these geoglyphs were not only created for spiritual or religious reasons, but as part of a much more complex, cosmic blueprint that spans time and space. The fact that the Nazca Lines appear to be aligned with such specific celestial events and landmarks suggests that they may have been crafted with the intent of synchronizing human activity with the greater forces of the universe. These ancient earthworks, visible only from the sky, could have been designed to serve as a kind of map. A map not just of the physical world, but of a hidden spiritual dimension. The lines themselves, so precise and intricate, might represent an effort to map the unseen forces that govern the cosmos. From the stars and planets to the energies of the Earth itself, the Nazca Lines could be a representation of the knowledge that ancient civilizations possessed about the interconnectedness of all things. The geoglyphs could be seen as an attempt to chart the forces that control both the physical and spiritual realms, blending science and spirituality in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. Some researchers have suggested that the Nazca Lines are more than just markers for celestial events. They may have been designed to interact with the environment itself. The desert is a harsh and unforgiving place, yet the lines persist, visible to those who are able to see them. Could it be that the very location of the geoglyphs was chosen not only for its visibility from above, but because of its unique properties, geological, spiritual, or energetic? The Nazca Desert, with its vast open spaces and clear skies, offers an unobstructed view of the stars, making it the ideal place for celestial observations. But beyond the practical reasons for this location, there may be a deeper, more metaphysical connection at play. The land itself, some theorists believe, may have been imbued with a special energy, a type of resonance that allowed the geoglyphs to hold a greater significance. Could the placement of these lines and their specific designs be part of a larger energetic grid, a network of lines and shapes that tap into the Earth's natural energy, creating a cosmic resonance that aligns human consciousness with the stars? One of the most intriguing aspects of the Nazca Lines is their potential connection to other ancient geoglyphs and earthworks found around the world. The similarities between the Nazca Lines and other sacred sites, such as the stone circles of Europe, the pyramids of Egypt, and the earthworks of North America, suggest that these ancient cultures shared a common knowledge of cosmic principles. Were the Nazca people aware of the Earth's natural energy grid, much like the builders of Stonehenge or the architects of the Great Pyramids? Were they all part of a larger, global system that sought to understand and harness the forces of the cosmos? The alignment of these ancient structures with celestial events, as well as their incorporation of sacred geometry, suggests that the people who built them shared a profound understanding of the universe, one that transcended time, space, and culture. It is possible that the Nazca Lines, along with other ancient earthworks, were designed to be part of a global system, one that connected disparate cultures through a shared understanding of the cosmos and the natural world. If we accept this theory, the Nazca Lines take on a whole new level of significance. They are no longer just ancient drawings in the desert. They are part of a larger, more intricate system that transcends the boundaries of time and space. The lines, in this sense, could be seen as markers in a larger cosmic map, designed to guide humanity toward a deeper understanding of the universe and its hidden forces. This map, if it exists, could be a reflection of the universal knowledge that ancient civilizations possessed, knowledge that has been largely lost or forgotten over time. The Nazca Lines, then, could be seen as a remnant of this lost wisdom, a reminder of a time when humanity was more closely connected to the natural world and the cosmos than we are today. The idea that the Nazca Lines may be part of a larger, universal system is further supported by the discovery of similar geoglyphs in other parts of the world. In recent years, researchers have uncovered vast networks of geoglyphs in places like the Atacama Desert of Chile, the Arabian Peninsula, and the American Southwest. These geoglyphs, though often less well-known than the Nazca Lines, share many of the same characteristics: large, geometric shapes, animal figures, and lines that stretch across the landscape. What's more, many of these geoglyphs seem to align with celestial events or natural features in ways that suggest a shared knowledge of the cosmos. Could these geoglyphs, scattered across the globe, be part of a global network, one that connects ancient cultures through a shared understanding of the Earth's energies, the stars, and the forces that govern the universe? This global network of geoglyphs could represent a kind of language, a universal form of communication that transcended cultural and geographic boundaries. If we consider the possibility that these ancient cultures were aware of a hidden system of knowledge, it's not difficult to imagine that the geoglyphs were part of a larger tradition, passed down through the ages by secret societies or sacred orders. The lines and shapes, then, could be seen as symbols that hold deep, hidden meanings meant to communicate knowledge that could not be easily expressed in words. These geoglyphs, spread across the planet, could be part of a cosmic code, one that speaks to the universal truths of existence and the interconnectedness of all things. Another fascinating aspect of the Nazca Lines and their global counterparts is their potential connection to ancient prophecies. Many cultures around the world have left behind prophecies, some of which predict the arrival of cosmic events, the return of gods, or the end of an era. The Nazca Lines, with their precise alignment to celestial events, could be viewed as part of a larger system that reflects these prophecies. Perhaps the geoglyphs were not only meant to mark celestial events, but also to serve as a reminder of ancient prophecies, ones that foretold the rise and fall of civilizations, the alignment of the stars, and the arrival of new ages. The geoglyphs could, in this sense, be seen as both markers of time and symbols of the future, offering clues to humanity's destiny and its place in the larger cosmic scheme. This connection between the Nazca Lines and ancient prophecies adds another layer of mystery to an already enigmatic subject. The lines, with their seemingly deliberate alignment to the stars, could be a form of cosmic prophecy, a message encoded in the land, meant to guide future generations toward a deeper understanding of the universe. The possibility that the Nazca Lines were created not just to mark celestial events, but to serve as a reminder of prophecies yet to unfold, raises the question: were these ancient geoglyphs more than just a reflection of the past? Could they be a glimpse into the future, a map that reveals the hidden truths of our own time, and perhaps even of the ages yet to come? As we continue to study the Nazca Lines and their possible connections to ancient knowledge, celestial events, and prophecies, we are reminded that the true meaning of these geoglyphs may be far more complex than we can ever fully understand. The lines are not merely marks on ground. They're symbols of something much larger, something that transcends the limitations of our current knowledge. Whether they were created to align with the stars, to tap into the Earth's energy grid, or to communicate a cosmic message, the Nazca Lines continue to captivate our imaginations, offering us a glimpse into a hidden world of ancient wisdom and cosmic knowledge. The mysteries of the Nazca Lines are not simply about uncovering the past. They are about discovering the deeper connections that link us to the universe and to the forgotten wisdom of our ancestors. As we venture deeper into the enigma of the Nazca Lines, it becomes increasingly clear that we are not merely dealing with a series of ancient drawings etched into the desert floor. These geoglyphs, stretching across the vastness of Peru's arid plains, may hold the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of humanity's relationship with the Earth, the cosmos, and the energies that bind them together. For centuries, the Nazca Lines have baffled archaeologists, historians, and scientists alike, with many questioning their purpose, their creators, and the methods used to construct them. While mainstream archaeology often focuses on the practical uses of such monuments, a deeper, more speculative approach reveals that these lines may serve a more esoteric purpose, one that transcends the physical and touches on the spiritual, the metaphysical, and perhaps even the extraterrestrial. The idea that the Nazca Lines could have been created as a form of cosmic alignment is not new, but it has gained renewed interest in recent years. What if these vast, intricate designs were not merely religious symbols or artistic expressions, but were intentionally crafted to align with cosmic cycles, celestial bodies, and the natural energies of the Earth? The precision of these geoglyphs suggests that the creators had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, geometry, and the forces that shape the world around them. But what if this knowledge was not solely derived from observation, but from a deeper, almost mystical understanding of the universe? Could the Nazca people have tapped into an ancient, forgotten system of knowledge that allowed them to create these designs with such accuracy, a system that connects the Earth to the stars in ways we are only beginning to understand? One of the most fascinating aspects of the Nazca Lines is their apparent alignment with celestial bodies and events. Many of the lines are believed to point directly to the rising or setting of the sun, moon, and stars at specific times of the year, such as the solstices and equinoxes. These alignments suggest that the Nazca people may have used these geoglyphs to track the movements of the heavens, much like the ancient Egyptians used the Great Pyramids to align with the stars. This level of astronomical knowledge, while impressive, raises even deeper questions about the sources of this wisdom. Were the Nazca people simply observing the sky, or did they possess an advanced understanding of celestial mechanics and cosmic cycles that was passed down to them by an even older civilization? The idea that this knowledge was inherited from a forgotten global network of ancient cultures is an intriguing one and adds another layer of mystery to the Nazca Lines. As we consider the alignment of the Nazca Lines with celestial bodies, it's impossible to ignore the possibility that these geoglyphs were not just markers of time and space, but were designed to interact with the energies of the Earth itself. Some researchers suggest that the lines may be part of a larger, hidden energy grid that spans the globe, connecting sacred sites and natural features in a vast network of interconnected forces. This concept, known as ley lines, proposes that certain geographic locations on Earth are imbued with subtle, invisible energies that can be harnessed for spiritual, healing, or even practical purposes. Could the Nazca Lines have been placed along such ley lines, aligning with the Earth's natural energy flows to create a powerful cosmic resonance? The idea that the geoglyphs were deliberately positioned to interact with these energies suggests that the Nazca people, far from being primitive or backward, were highly attuned to the forces of nature and the cosmos. The concept of ley lines and Earth's energy grids also ties into another fascinating possibility: the idea that the Nazca Lines were not created solely for human eyes, but for a much grander cosmic purpose. Could it be that these geoglyphs were designed as a form of communication, not just with the gods or the ancestors, but with otherworldly beings or even extraterrestrial intelligences? This theory, though often dismissed by mainstream scholars, has captivated the imaginations of many. Given the scale and precision of the Nazca Lines, as well as their apparent alignment with celestial events and Earth's energy grid, some suggest that these geoglyphs were created as a form of signal, one that could be seen from the sky, perhaps by advanced civilizations or extraterrestrial beings. The sheer enormity of the designs and their visibility from above raises the question: were the Nazca people consciously attempting to make contact with otherworldly entities, using their geoglyphs as a form of cosmic communication? The idea that the Nazca Lines were created with the intention of making contact with extraterrestrial beings is supported by a number of factors. First, the precision of the lines and the scale of the designs seem far beyond what one might expect from an ancient civilization without access to modern technology. The idea that these lines were created through the use of simple ropes, stakes, and observational methods seems unlikely given the complexity and magnitude of the geoglyphs. Could the Nazca people have used a more advanced system of knowledge or technology that has been lost to history? Some proponents of the ancient astronaut theory suggest that the Nazca Lines, along with other ancient earthworks, were created with the help of extraterrestrial beings who provided the knowledge or tools necessary to construct these enormous designs. While this theory remains speculative, it is not without merit. After all, many ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Mayans, have left behind evidence of advanced astronomical and architectural knowledge that seems to have been far beyond their time. If the Nazca Lines were, indeed, created as a form of extraterrestrial communication, the implications are staggering. It would suggest that ancient civilizations were in contact with beings from other worlds, and that the knowledge they possessed was not entirely their own. Instead, it could be that they were simply the recipients of a much older and much more advanced system of knowledge that had been passed down through generations from one civilization to the next. This knowledge, perhaps provided by extraterrestrial visitors, could have helped the Nazca people develop their understanding of astronomy, geometry, and the forces of nature. It would also explain the extraordinary precision of the geoglyphs, as well as their apparent connection to celestial events and Earth's energy grid. While the idea of extraterrestrial involvement in the creation of the Nazca Lines remains speculative, there is another, more grounded possibility that must be considered. Perhaps the lines were not created by extraterrestrial beings, but by an ancient, lost civilization that possessed advanced knowledge of the cosmos and the Earth's natural forces. This civilization, which may have existed long before the rise of the Nazca, could have left behind the knowledge that the Nazca used to create their geoglyphs. The idea that a forgotten, ancient civilization possessed knowledge of celestial alignment, sacred geometry, and energy manipulation is not far-fetched. After all, many of the world's oldest and most impressive monuments, such as the pyramids of Egypt, the megalithic structures of Stonehenge, and the ruins of Machu Picchu, seem to reflect an advanced understanding of the natural world that should not have been possible for the people who built them. Could the Nazca be part of a much larger, global network of ancient cultures that shared this knowledge? Regardless of whether the Nazca Lines were created by extraterrestrials or a lost civilization, one thing is clear. The lines are far more than simple markings on the Earth's surface. They are part of a much larger, more complex system of knowledge and understanding that spans time and space. The Nazca Lines, with their intricate designs, celestial alignments, and potential connection to the Earth's energy grid, offer us a glimpse into an ancient wisdom that has been lost to history. Whether they were created for spiritual, practical, or cosmic purposes, the lines continue to captivate our imaginations and challenge our understanding of the ancient world. As we continue to study these mysterious geoglyphs, we are reminded that the past is far more mysterious and awe-inspiring than we have been led to believe. The Nazca Lines may hold the answers to questions we have not yet thought to ask, and they may offer a key to understanding humanity's true place in the cosmos. The mystery of the Nazca Lines deepens as we continue to explore their potential connections to ancient knowledge, cosmic cycles, and the forces that govern our world. As we stand at the crossroads of science, speculation, and the metaphysical, we must ask ourselves, what is the true purpose of these vast, intricate geoglyphs? Are they merely symbols of ancient spirituality, or are they part of a more profound system of knowledge that bridges the gap between the Earth and the cosmos? Could it be that the Nazca people, far from being primitive, possessed an understanding of the universe that was both advanced and profound, one that continues to elude us? The sheer scale and precision of these geoglyphs suggest that the creators of the Nazca Lines had access to a sophisticated system of measurement, geometry, and perhaps even technology, methods and wisdom that may have been lost to time. But more than just technical prowess, these lines seem to reflect a deeper connection to the earth and the heavens, a profound understanding of how the forces of nature and the universe are intertwined. The possibility that the Nazca Lines were created with the intent of aligning human activity with celestial and natural cycles suggests that the ancient people of this region were not merely observing the stars, but were, in fact, trying to engage with them. This is not a new idea. Ancient cultures worldwide have demonstrated a deep reverence for the skies, from the Mayans and the Egyptians to the Mesopotamians. For these civilizations, the cosmos was not a distant, abstract concept, but a living, breathing force that influenced every aspect of life. For the Nazca, the alignment of the geoglyphs with the stars and celestial events could have served as a form of communication with the divine, or even as a tool for harnessing cosmic forces. The lines themselves may have been a way of drawing down the energies of the heavens, aligning the earth with the cosmic rhythms in ways that were believed to bring balance, power, and insight. But this raises even more questions. Could the Nazca have been aware of cosmic forces that we are only now beginning to understand? Some theorists suggest that the geoglyphs may not have been created solely for religious or spiritual purposes, but for a more practical reason, a way of tapping into the natural energies of the earth and the universe. These energies, sometimes referred to as universal life force or earth energies, are thought to flow through the planet in invisible lines, connecting sacred sites and geographical features. Could the Nazca Lines have been created along these ley lines, aligning themselves with the Earth's natural energy flows to create a kind of cosmic harmony? This theory suggests that the geoglyphs were not just art, but a method for manipulating or interacting with these powerful forces, using the lines as a tool for spiritual or physical transformation. If the Nazca Lines were created along these energy lines, it would imply that the Nazca people had a profound understanding of the Earth's energetic system, one that connected all living things, all elements, and the cosmos itself. It would also suggest that the lines were not random, but intentionally placed at strategic points to tap into these flows. This concept of a global energy grid is not unique to the Nazca. It appears in other ancient cultures, such as the ancient Chinese, who developed the practice of feng shui to harmonize human activity with the Earth's natural energy flows. The Nazca, like the Chinese, may have used the lines to create harmony between the Earth and the heavens, ensuring that their civilization was in balance with the natural world. The lines, in this sense, were not just markings on the desert floor. They were a way of aligning the Earth with cosmic forces, creating a resonance between the physical and spiritual realms. This connection between the Earth's energy grid and the Nazca Lines leads us to an even more intriguing question. Were the geoglyphs created to serve as a form of communication with beings beyond the Earth? While this idea may seem far-fetched at first glance, it is worth considering in light of the precision and scale of the designs. The fact that the lines were intended to be viewed from the sky suggests that they were created with an audience beyond the Earth in mind. Could it be that the Nazca were sending a message to extraterrestrial beings, or that they were attempting to align themselves with a higher cosmic intelligence? The possibility that the geoglyphs were created as a form of extraterrestrial communication is not as far-fetched as it might seem. In fact, there are numerous examples of ancient cultures that have left behind mysterious structures and artifacts that seem to suggest contact with otherworldly beings, from the Sumerians' depictions of Anunnaki gods to the ancient Egyptians' knowledge of advanced technology and the stars. The idea of extraterrestrial influence on the creation of the Nazca Lines also ties into the broader theory of ancient astronauts, beings from other planets or dimensions who may have visited Earth in ancient times, imparting knowledge and wisdom to early civilizations. Some researchers argue that the sheer scale and complexity of the Nazca Lines, combined with the precision of their astronomical alignments, suggest that the Nazca may have had help from advanced beings who possessed knowledge far beyond what was available to ancient humans. According to this theory, the geoglyphs were not just the product of human ingenuity, but the result of a collaboration between Earth's ancient peoples and extraterrestrial visitors. While this remains highly speculative, it is a theory that continues to captivate the imaginations of those who believe in the possibility of ancient extraterrestrial contact. This possibility of extraterrestrial involvement in the creation of the Nazca Lines raises another question. Could the geoglyphs themselves be a message from the stars, one that was encoded with knowledge meant for future generations? Many ancient cultures left behind records of their interactions with the cosmos, from the Mayans' complex calendar systems to the Egyptians' knowledge of the stars and the afterlife. Could the Nazca Lines be part of a similar tradition, one that encodes hidden messages about the universe, the forces that govern it, and the fate of humanity? The idea that the geoglyphs are more than just maps or symbols, but are, in fact, a form of cosmic communication, suggests that the Nazca people may have had a much deeper understanding of the universe than we give them credit for. These lines, seemingly so simple in their design, may be hiding a much larger, more complex message, one that we are only beginning to decipher. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the Nazca Lines, we are forced to confront the possibility that these geoglyphs represent something far greater than we have yet understood. Perhaps the Nazca were not just marking time or creating symbols of religious significance, but were engaging in a kind of cosmic dialogue, tapping into forces that transcend the physical world. Whether they were trying to align with celestial forces, communicate with extraterrestrial beings, or tap into the Earth's energy grid, the Nazca Lines serve as a reminder that ancient cultures may have possessed knowledge and wisdom far beyond what we can comprehend today. The mystery of the Nazca Lines is not just about uncovering the past. It is about exploring the hidden connections between humanity, the Earth, and the cosmos, connections that may have been lost to time, but are waiting to be rediscovered. The lines, like the stars above, continue to beckon us toward a deeper understanding of the universe and our place within it. In the end, the Nazca Lines remain a testament to the ingenuity and mystery of an ancient civilization. While their exact purpose may never be fully understood, they continue to spark curiosity and awe in all who encounter them. The lines are not just relics of the past. They are a bridge to the unknown, a reminder that our understanding of the world and the universe is still incomplete. As we continue to study these extraordinary geoglyphs, we may one day uncover the secrets they hold, secrets that could change the way we see the world, the cosmos, and our place in it. Until then, the Nazca Lines will remain a mystery, one that invites us to look beyond the surface and into the depths of the universe itself. As we continue our investigation into the Nazca Lines, it's essential to explore the broader implications these geoglyphs might hold, not just for understanding the past, but for how we perceive ancient knowledge and the connection between humanity and the cosmos. The sheer scale, precision, and possible purpose of these ancient designs raise profound questions about what the Nazca people truly understood about the world around them, and perhaps more importantly, the forces beyond it. These lines and figures etched into the Peruvian desert have long been considered artifacts of religious or ceremonial significance, yet the possibility that they hold keys to a greater mystery cannot be dismissed. Could they be part of a larger, more universal understanding that transcends time, culture, and civilization? The idea that these geoglyphs were created with an awareness of astronomical events is not particularly new. However, what is truly striking about the Nazca Lines is the fact that they seem to be connected to celestial phenomena in a way that surpasses simple observation. These lines could have been designed not merely to mark the passage of time, but to align with the very cycles of the cosmos, solar and lunar events, equinoxes, solstices, and the paths of the stars. The exact nature of this connection, however, remains unclear, as the Nazca had no known means of flight or advanced surveying tools to give them the ability to view the desert landscape from above. This raises the possibility that the Nazca may have used a form of knowledge and understanding of the Earth's celestial rhythms that was far more advanced than we have been led to believe. Could it be that they tapped into ancient, esoteric wisdom passed down through generations, wisdom that transcended the limitations of their time? One of the most puzzling aspects of the Nazca Lines is the presence of intricate geometric shapes, animals, and even humanoid figures, all of which appear to be part of a grand design, yet remain completely inscrutable when viewed from the ground. The idea that these elaborate shapes were created for religious or ceremonial purposes makes sense on one level, but it is equally possible that the lines themselves were designed with the understanding that they would only be fully appreciated from a higher vantage point. The fact that the full scale and complexity of the designs can only be understood from the sky raises the question: were the Nazca creating something that was meant to be seen not by humans, but by celestial or divine beings? Could these lines and figures serve as a form of communication, not just with the gods or with other human cultures, but with beings from another world altogether? The sheer magnitude of the designs and their apparent connection to the cosmos suggests that the Nazca people may have seen themselves as part of a larger cosmic order, one in which human existence was inextricably linked to the movements of the stars and the energies of the Earth. Some theorists have proposed that the Nazca Lines might be part of a much larger and more complex system of sacred geometry, a hidden language that connects the Earth to the heavens and the human soul to the divine. Sacred geometry has long been associated with ancient spiritual traditions, from the pyramids of Egypt to the temples of Greece and India. The shapes, proportions, and patterns found in sacred geometry are believed to encode deeper truths about the universe and its fundamental laws. The Nazca Lines, with their intricate geometric designs, may be an expression of this sacred geometry, meant not just to impress or communicate with the gods, but to align the Earth and humanity with the fundamental forces of the universe. This idea would suggest that the Nazca people were not simply marking time or creating art for art's sake. They were aligning themselves with a cosmic blueprint, using the desert floor as a canvas to convey deeper, universal truths. It's important to consider the broader cultural context of the Nazca civilization when exploring the potential spiritual and cosmic dimensions of the lines. The Nazca people were part of a broader Andean cultural sphere that included other civilizations, such as the Paracas and the Moche, all of whom shared an interest in the stars, the natural world, and the forces that govern both. The Andean worldview, like many ancient cultures, placed a strong emphasis on the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual worlds. The land, the sky, and the forces of nature were all seen as interconnected, and human life was thought to be in constant dialogue with these forces. The Nazca, with their elaborate geoglyphs, may have been attempting to create a living representation of this cosmic dialogue, a symbol of their place in the universe and their connection to the greater energies that shape the world. As we delve further into the possible functions of the Nazca Lines, it's also worth considering the possibility that they were not only created for spiritual or ceremonial purposes, but may have had a practical function as well. Could the lines have been part of a larger network of roads or pathways guiding travelers across the desert? Some researchers have suggested that the lines may have been designed to help navigate the harsh desert landscape, marking paths and routes that were used for trade or pilgrimage. This practical function, while important, does not necessarily negate the spiritual or cosmic aspects of the lines. Instead, it could be that the Nazca people were using the lines as a tool to connect their spiritual beliefs with the practical needs of daily life. The lines could have served as both a map to navigate the desert and a cosmic diagram, aligning the people with celestial rhythms and forces. Moreover, the idea that the lines may have been part of a larger spiritual or ceremonial network raises the question of whether the geoglyphs were part of a larger, global system of ancient earthworks. Similar geoglyphs and earthworks can be found across the world, from the giant stone circles of Stonehenge to the geoglyphs of the Atacama Desert in Chile. These ancient structures, though diverse in design, share many common features, including their alignment with celestial events, their geometric precision, and their use of sacred geometry. Could these earthworks be part of a larger, interconnected system that spans the globe, linking ancient civilizations through a shared knowledge of the stars, the Earth's energies, and the forces that govern both? The presence of similar geoglyphs across the globe suggests that the people who created them may have shared a common knowledge and understanding of the universe, a knowledge that transcended borders and cultures and connected humanity to a deeper cosmic order. The more we consider the possibility of a global network of ancient earthworks, the more we are forced to question the conventional narrative of ancient human history. The idea that ancient civilizations were isolated and disconnected from one another, with each developing independently, seems increasingly unlikely. Instead, the evidence suggests that these civilizations may have been part of a much larger and more interconnected system of knowledge. The Nazca Lines, like the pyramids of Egypt, the megalithic structures of Europe, and the ancient temples of the East, could be part of a larger spiritual and cosmic tradition that spans the ages. These structures and designs were not just built for practical reasons. They were created to align humanity with the cosmic rhythms, to connect the earth to the heavens, and to tap into the hidden forces that shape the world. The idea that the Nazca Lines were part of this larger, global system of knowledge brings us to another important question. What happened to this knowledge? If ancient civilizations shared a deep understanding of the cosmos and the Earth's energies, why did this knowledge disappear? Some theorists suggest that this knowledge was deliberately hidden or lost over time, either through natural disaster, the collapse of civilizations, or the suppression of knowledge by later rulers. The loss of this ancient wisdom has left us with only fragments of what was once a much larger understanding of the universe. Fragments that we are only now beginning to piece together. The Nazca Lines, as one of the few remaining examples of this ancient knowledge, stand as a testament to the lost wisdom of our ancestors, a reminder that the past may hold secrets that we have yet to fully uncover. As we continue to study the Nazca Lines, it's clear that they are far more than just relics of an ancient civilization. These geoglyphs are a window into a much deeper mystery, one that speaks to humanity's connection to the cosmos and the forces that govern the Earth. Whether they were created to align with celestial events, to communicate with otherworldly beings, or to tap into the Earth's natural energies, the Nazca Lines are a testament to the ancient wisdom that once guided human civilization. And as we continue to unravel the mysteries of these geoglyphs, we may find that the answers to our questions lie not in the past alone, but in the deeper, more profound connection between humanity, the Earth, and the stars. As we approach the final stages of unraveling the mystery of the Nazca Lines, it's important to consider the profound implications of these ancient geoglyphs, not just for the past, but for our future. The deeper we delve into the significance of these remarkable earthworks, the more we realize that they offer much more than just a glimpse into the lives and beliefs of the Nazca civilization. They serve as a bridge between humanity and the cosmos, offering us a window into a time when human beings were profoundly connected to the natural world and the celestial forces that govern the universe. The more we understand the purpose of these lines, the more we are confronted with questions that transcend the boundaries of time and space. What was the true purpose of these designs? What knowledge did the Nazca possess? And how did they tap into the energies of the Earth and the universe? One of the most compelling aspects of the Nazca Lines is their connection to the natural world. The geoglyphs were created not in lush, fertile lands, but in the harsh, arid deserts of Peru. The Nazca people chose to carve these enormous figures into the barren landscape, creating intricate designs that could only be fully appreciated from the sky. This decision raises important questions about the relationship between the people and the environment. Why choose such a desolate place to create such a grand, complex system of designs? Some researchers suggest that the lines were created as a way to harmonize with the natural forces of the desert. The geoglyphs could have been seen as a means of bringing balance to an otherwise inhospitable environment, aligning the human experience with the cosmic rhythms of the universe. The fact that these lines were created in the heart of one of the most inhospitable places on Earth speaks volumes about the Nazca people's understanding of the natural world. They were not just marking the land. They were working with it, attempting to harness the energy and power of the Earth itself. But there is more to the Nazca Lines than just their connection to the land. The geoglyphs are also intricately aligned with celestial events, particularly the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. This alignment speaks to a much deeper understanding of the cosmos and suggests that the Nazca people may have viewed the stars and planets not just as distant lights in the sky, but as active forces that could be harnessed and aligned with the rhythms of human life. The idea that these ancient peoples could align such complex designs with celestial events is both awe-inspiring and perplexing. It raises the question of how they obtained such knowledge. Was it through observation alone, or did they possess a deeper understanding of the forces at play? Some theorists suggest that the Nazca might have had access to knowledge passed down through ancient, long-forgotten civilizations. Could they have been inheritors of a global network of sacred knowledge, one that stretched back thousands of years and connected disparate cultures through a shared understanding of the cosmos? The possibility that the Nazca were part of a larger global system of knowledge forces us to reconsider the conventional understanding of ancient civilizations. For much of modern history, scholars have believed that ancient cultures were isolated from one another, each developing independently with little to no contact or exchange of ideas. However, the evidence suggests that this view may be far too simplistic. Across the globe, we see striking similarities between the monuments, geoglyphs, and sacred sites of different cultures. From the pyramids of Egypt to the stone circles of Britain, from the megalithic structures of Malta to the mysterious earthworks of North America, there is a pattern emerging, one that speaks to a shared knowledge of sacred geometry, cosmic alignment, and the energetic forces that govern the Earth. The Nazca Lines are part of this larger tradition, a testament to the ancient understanding that the Earth is a living, breathing entity connected to the stars, the planets, and all of existence. This global network of ancient knowledge could have been passed down through generations, carried by secret societies, spiritual traditions, and esoteric orders. These groups, often hidden from the mainstream, may have preserved ancient wisdom and used it to guide their actions. The Nazca Lines, with their intricate designs and cosmic alignment, may have been part of this hidden tradition. Perhaps the geoglyphs were not just created for ceremonial purposes, but as a form of communication, one that connected the Nazca people to a larger, global system of knowledge. Could these lines have been designed to communicate with other ancient civilizations, or even with beings beyond our world? The possibility that the Nazca Lines were created as part of a larger, universal message is both tantalizing and elusive. If these lines are indeed part of a cosmic communication system, what message were they trying to convey, and to whom? One theory that continues to intrigue researchers is the idea that the Nazca Lines were a form of extraterrestrial communication. This idea, often dismissed by mainstream scholars, has gained popularity among those who believe in the possibility of ancient contact with extraterrestrial beings. The precision, scale, and complexity of the geoglyphs, combined with their alignment to celestial events, suggest that they may have been created with the intent of sending a message to beings beyond the Earth. Could it be that the Nazca were attempting to communicate with extraterrestrial civilizations, using the lines as a form of signaling device? This theory, while speculative, raises important questions about humanity's place in the cosmos. If the Nazca were indeed trying to communicate with extraterrestrials, what knowledge were they trying to share, and what knowledge might they have received in return?